Okay, today on Cabal Casts, we're going to meet in Command & Conquer 3 Kane's Wrath to do a 1 versus 1 video commentary. It's been about a week and a half since my last VOD. I do apologize, but I had to work the weekend, and it's been 13 straight days of work. So today we didn't have to start work until 10 a.m. this morning. So I got up a little earlier and decided to do a VOD today because I'm pretty sure you guys were wanting some. I know Green Zero did some on his channel, but I'm going to do one on mine. So anyway, we have Durand and playing as Steel Talons against iriS, playing as Martyr Kane. So we're on Tournament Dustbowl here. So in the north here, we see, I didn't check the colors again, this is iriS. He's playing as the blue Martyr Kane. And down south is going to be Durand. He's going to be playing as the red Steel Talons. So immediately off the bat, he's going to be going for a refinery. So he doesn't think that, I think it must have been a random v random, I think. No, I think iriS chose his faction because Durand uploaded the replay. So, yeah, he's going to be Steel Talons, and he's going to be Martyr Kane. Both players actually going for a refinery, so this is going to be very interesting. Nobody's going for the spikes, so, yeah, I'm not sure why. Maybe you're going to go for the spikes afterwards, but yeah, both players are going to go for a refinery. And a power plant, immediately power back up the refinery. And iriS is going to be going for a, is that a war factory? It looks like a war factory, so it looks like he's not going to be going for a barracks, and neither is Durand. So, yeah, that's going to be very interesting. He went for a shredder turn build and sell to get a single awakened squad, and probably going down south as well. He placed his war factory in a very good position because then he can just stream out vehicles non-stop. So it looks like he's going for a buggy scout, and what he's going to be Durand doing the exact same thing, this time with a pitbull scout. So both players are going to be going scouting each other, and they're going to be meeting at the center of the map. If iriS is lucky, he can get the Emp shot on that Awakened squad, and it looks like he does, and that was a great Emp shot there. So just going to stall that buggy for just a couple seconds, and then he'll be able to go and scout iriS's base, and iriS is just going to be placing up his second refinery. Durand is going to be placing his a couple seconds later, so both players are pretty much on the same page in terms of economy. Both players have three harvesters with 2 refineries, and iriS is going to be moving his refinery, or his MCV with only 1 power plant, so that's going to slow down the power just a little bit. Nothing too worried about. Durand is going to got 2 power plants because GDI only need 2 power plants to power up their base while he moves his MCV. Meanwhile, for now, you need 3 power plants. So another harvester is going to be coming out of that war factory, and that MCV has been placed down. He's immediately going to be building another power plant, maybe going for another one as well, just to get the power back in order. Durand, meanwhile, is just going to be expanding with his MCV. He may place his a little bit later, and is actually not placing it there. He goes, so he may be a little bit behind for placing his next refinery, but that sometimes doesn't matter. iriS has got 4 and 2 in his field. He needs 1 more to make a proper ratio, and he is doing just that. And he's probably going to build 1 more harvester to bring into this Tiberan field right here. And for Durand, he's got 4 and 2 still. That pitbull is still alive. Actually, there's 2 pitbulls out here. They take out that buggy scout. That's going to be pretty good. He's actually going for a couple of pitbulls here. So he could be going for a little bit of harvester harassment while he gets his own harvesters in check. And he's got 4 and 2, so you need to get more harvesters on the field. He just placed his refinery down, and iriS placed his a little bit more ahead. Hand of Nod is coming on here so that iriS knows that there's a couple of pitbulls coming towards his base, and he thinks they're going as expansion, but he's going for his main base. Actually, this harvester may be destroyed. Oh my god, iriS got jumped there for a couple seconds, and he loses one of his harvesters unnecessarily, so that kind of sucks. And now he's down 1 harvester because he has to transfer that harvester from that blue expansion field to this field right here because he lost his harvester. I'm not sure how that happened. I guess he wasn't paying attention when those pitbulls came to play. So that was a good play there by Durand, taking out a harvester by 3 pitbulls, which honestly shouldn't have happened, but it did anyway. So now he's going to get his own harvesters in check, and he's got 6 and 2 in this field, which is not the proper ratio. He needs to transfer one of his harvesters, and he's just doing so indeed. iriS has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 harvesters on this field, so he needs to transfer 1 of them. And maybe want that one for repairs or something. But at his expansion, he's got 2 and 2. So transferring over on one of those harvesters, that's good. And now iriS is going to be going for a Hand of Nod with a couple of rocket squads just for defense against those pitbulls. And pitbulls are going to be building up now for Durand. And he's even got a reference squad to take care of that single Awakened squad. And he's going for a command post, so he's at tier 2. He's got double war factory, and he's stolen cash just a little bit. He needs another refinery just to make a good solid economy. And Scorpion tanks coming out of those war factories now, so he didn't really transition to anything because he was building Scorpion tanks to begin with, other than that first buggy scout. So yeah, he's gonna move for some Scorpion tanks, and he's not at tier 2 yet, so he's not getting Dozer Blaze very soon, I hope. And these pit bulls are just going to be for scouting purposes. He has complete map control, Durant has. So he's going to be keeping iriS in his base as much as possibly can. There's the operation center. He's going to be upgrading the liquid tiberium core to those power plants so he can power up his base much more effectively. And these Scorpion tanks are just to defend against these pit bulls that are just trying to make a way into the tiberium crystal fields. Nobody's captured the tip spikes, surprisingly. Maybe both players will capture their respective tip spikes when they get to their third expansion eventually. What are you doing? Durand has got Tech Lab. He's actually getting an upgrade. It is going to be mortars. So mortars for the pit bulls. That'll be very, very good against these infantry squads. So that's going to be very, very good. And these mortars have not fired yet because you need to click on fire them. Actually, there's no need to be firing them on because those splash damage from those pit bull scouts did pretty good. And now these harvesters are going to be free to destroy. iriS is going to be recalling all his harvesters, and the Scorpion tanks now are going to be clumped up. And these mortars, holy cow, those mortars are doing an amazing job. Because the Scorpion tanks in the back now, those mortars don't focus fire their shots like the normal rockets do, but the mortars do the backside damage, and now these mortars are just decimating all these Scorpion tanks. And wow, iriS has just lost a bunch of Scorpion tanks because Durand upgraded those mortars for his pit bulls, and those mortars did an amazing amount of damage. He lost all of his pit bulls, but you know what? That was a great trade-off there. He didn't lose any harvesters, so that's going to be very good. Some Juggernauts and Mammoth tanks coming out now from Durand, so he's really going for the tier 3 heavy. Is he going for railguns? No, not adaptive armor. He's got some behemoths and some mammoth tanks, so this will do very good damage because iriS is only on tier 2. Actually, he hit tier 3, never mind. He's upgrading something from his tech lab. It could be supercharged particle beams, either that or tip core, because I don't think he has any buggy scouts to make a good M coils even possible to upload. But here come Buggy Force. I didn't see this being built, and now they're going to be attacking all these harvesters now, and these harvesters are going to be decimated. So iriS is on top of things. He's going to be answering back the call and destroying a bunch of Durand's harvesters. He's going to lose 2 harvesters, which both of them were full. Actually, he didn't finish off that one. Now he did. And now this harvester is going to be docking, and it's not going to get a full load of green tib in, which is going to suck. So he lost 3 harvesters, and Durand's not doing anything about it. He's sending in a couple of Wolverines just to deal with these buggies. And they don't have AP ammo, so they're going to take a little bit more while to destroy. But yeah, 3 harvesters went down by Durand, and that's going to be hurting the economy of Durand. So now iriS. Oh no, the MCV's out here alone, and now it just gets destroyed by these tier 3 mammoth tanks and behemoths. So that's not going to be very good. iriS does not have a barracks, so he can't produce any infantry squads. These mammoth tanks and behemoth squads are going to decimate iriS's base because iriS only has Scorpion. He has an avatar here, so that's going to be pretty good. And he has tip core for his bikers, so that's going to be very good. But there's mammoth tanks here, so that's not going to be very good. And these Wolverine squads, both of them are completely damaged, so he needs to be very careful about that. And some avatars are coming in here. The bugs are coming from the backside of things. These behemoths are absolutely defenseless. And here comes the Raider buggies, and they do have the EMP coils, and the EMP coils do an amazing amount of damage, and this entire attack force is going to be decimated because of the EMP from iriS, and these behemoths are going to be decimated as well. Another EMP goes down from that Raider buggy. That's going to be very good. So this attacker could be worn off, and these couple of Wolverines take out those bikers, and now they have to focus on the avatars. The avatars, they're quite a bit of numbers, but there's too many of them to count and to destroy these mammoth tanks now, so Durand has to rethink his strategies. He needs to have something else. Finally, the first tip spike of the game has been captured by Durand, and now he's going to be reaping the benefits of that. 10 credits a second. This whole force has been absolutely decimated. All 3 of those behemoths were destroyed. I'm not sure if Durand destroyed them or iriS destroyed them, but he could have used them. But actually, he can't build barracks because he doesn't have an MCV. That's why. He should be building something of his war factory now. He needs to expand because both of his tip fields are completely dry. So he needs to go to the 3rd Tiberium field here. But Durand is there already. And he's moving his MCV again just a little closer to the green Tiberium field just in case iriS has Tib Chasm style, which will be pretty deadly. And I think that's what he's doing. So now Durand is going to be ahead in the economy race. He's recalling all of his heavy harvesters. There's a couple of bikes here. They're not going to do that much damage. But at the same time, there's no forces here to help deal with those bikers. And all he has to defend this is just watchtowers with AP ammo. and that could do pretty good damage actually. And that one bike will go down, unfortunately. But now we see the MCV coming out back from iriS, and he's defending it this time with 3 avatars. So that's going to be very good. There's Wolverines here in the middle of nowhere. They can't stand up to these avatars. They have to do something else. Actually, iriS is going to go for a different expansion. Is he going to go for an aggressive one? I'm not sure how well this is going to work because he doesn't have any Tiberium to make this counter push really work. Let's see how much money he has. Derand has 2,000, 2,200, and iriS has $300. So yeah, he's been going for a base push, and base push with no money just doesn't work. Just ask the people who failed against Bike Rush when they attacked the MCV there. Doesn't work out too well. So iriS is going to be coming in with his avatars, and Derand is going to go straight into rocket squads. And these are doing pretty good damage. There's a couple of mammoth tanks here for defense, and these Wolverines are going to be getting some repairs. iriS now, he's going to be going for a base push, and base push no money. I'm not sure how well that's going to work. The construction yard is going to be building up a base defense. One avatar will go down, and he does have supercharged particle beam, so these infantry squads are going to be absolutely useless now. And here comes the EMP buggies, and they're going to be EMPing the MCV and the 2 mammoth tanks, so that's going to be very good. These avatars need a war factory to help defend, to help get repaired up, because they're just going to get destroyed. That one mammoth tank will down. Both these avatars are veteran, so that's going to be very good. This mammoth tank now is probably going to be destroyed. The railguns is completed now, so even tougher time for iriS to destroy these mammoth tanks with the railguns. But now I think these avatars are on a move order, and they shouldn't be doing that because they're going to be going right into the base now, and they're going to destroy the Wolverines, which is pretty good now. But these EMP buggies now are coming in, and they're going to be EMPing. No, they can't EMP because the railgun and mammoth tanks will destroy them. But one avatar will go down. iriS is losing his footing in this game. He tried this base push. It didn't work because he doesn't have the money to do so, and he's just desperately trying to build something that could be an obelisk of light, and which is definitely he needs. And that one EMP buggy out of 3 will destroy or EMP that mammoth tank. But unfortunately, he doesn't have anything to destroy this. There's 4 watchtowers here from Derand, so this is doing pretty good damage, and I think this attack here by iriS is going to be absolutely decimated. He could be leaving the game as well because he doesn't have any money to deal with this. I think he's probably saying GG in his chat. Here come more EMP buggies, but they really can't really do anything against these mammoth tanks, because these mammoth tanks are just going to decimate the rest of the construction yard now that Derand has. Actually, Derand is just going for with the Obelisk of Light, shielding it with the Tiberium Silo. So, but unfortunately, that watchtower is still attacking it. Actually, iriS is still committing to this base push, and I'm not sure how well this is going to work, because all that Derand needs to build is Titans, and Titans can shoot over things like Tiberium Silos, but he's just committed to building these mammoth tanks, and that one Obelisk of Light is still getting repaired, but unfortunately there's there's a couple of watchtowers attacking it, so that's going to be very good. Not to mention the fact that, oh, he captures the avatar now, and there's a behemoth as well, so now iriS is in deep trouble. He's in deep trouble before when he tried out this base push with no money. So yeah, not sure that, that didn't work so well. Now his behemoth is just firing on that construction yard, and that avatar is heavily damaged. He's going to get back to base for repairs. Meanwhile, these 2 behemoth squads are going to finish off the rest of the construction yard, no questions about that. And they're just firing up on it just like right now, and these mammoth tanks are moving in, and iriS sells off his MCV because he can't support that. There's 4 Tiberium Silos here, and I'm not sure if he's going to be keeping that there. There's another MCV out now, so iriS has the money now. I'm not sure how he managed to do that, but apparently he's not quitting in this game, and that's going to be very good. Stealth tanks are coming out now, and that's going to be just purpose for harvester harassment. But to be honest now, he needs a large army. He needs rocket squads, a lot of them, to deal with this heavily armored force here from Derand. So I'm not sure how well this is going to work. Derand needs to send a couple of harvesters to the field here. He has one of them here to collect this Tiberium, and that's going to be very good. He doesn't have a second refinement on this field, and I guess he's probably focused on destroying that armada of attack, that base push here from iriS. But now the rifleman squads are coming in, and they're going to spot that rifleman squad, or that MCV coming in, and they could take a couple of military squads down for the count, but the rocket squads will take out because there's too many of them. And he does have a secret shrine, so he could be going for some Tib Infusion. Actually, Tib Infusion has just been upgraded, so those infantry forces now are immune to Tiberium effects. And what else? Increases hit points and increases movement speed. There we go. I know what that is. And we see some Awakened squads coming here, so he's going to be transitioning to infantry attacks. And the Awakened squads are just the purpose for EMP Blast. He could be going for some Enlightened squads. I like the team Enlightened. And he could definitely get some cybernetic legs as well, so that's gonna be pretty good. Something's building out of his hand of Nod. It could be enlightened. I hope it is enlightened because I like to see him. I think my favorite. No, he's not building any enlightened. So yeah, he's sold on cash. I think my favorite voice line of the enlightened squads is. Oh, what the heck? I can't remember what it is. Bear the mark. Superior design. That's the one I was looking for. Stealth Egg's been spotted by these pitbulls here, so Durand is on top of things. He's going to be seeing that stealth, and he's trying to get that stealth egg before he's trying to do too much damage to his harvesters. I think he was doing a lot of harvester damage to begin with. But yeah, the stealth egg has been caught out of position, and he will take out that one pitbull, but unfortunately a pitbull costs way less than a stealth egg. I think a pitbull is like $700, and a scorpion and a stealth egg is $1,200. So yeah, save himself at $600 there. Avatars and Behemoth squads are being built up now. There's double war factory here from Durand, and he's got two refiners on this field here. He's harvesting away very happily, and he's getting a lot of tier 3 stuff now. He has adaptive armor now. No, he doesn't have adaptive armor. I thought he had adaptive armor, but it's just railguns. He could be going for something else like that. Actually, he does have a single alliance squad here, so that's going to be very good. But he does have cybernetic legs, unfortunately. But now, because the behemoths are here, they're going to be going into a suppression fire. But good job there by iriS, because he's using force move. And what force move does is that units will get out of suppression and move toward target location without losing their suppression fire bonus. So that's going to be very good there. So iriS is on top of things with his force move, and that'll be pretty good. They'll get a lot of people don't use force move. Even the good players don't use force move to get out of suppression fire. So yeah, that's going to be pretty bad. A couple pitbulls have made it to the back of the base here, and one of them will be attacking that one power plant with the mortar and the rockets. So yeah, these two pitbulls are just going to be spawning up there. Actually, one of the power plants have been sold. That was mainly for the Emp. So now he lost his power just because of that one single reason. And now the cybernetic leg and lane squads are going to be coming in. And he did manage to take... He doesn't want to empty a tech lab, so that's why he stopped that. So he's going to be coming in, destroying the rest of these pitbull scouts. And these pitbulls are taking a couple damage from that lane squad. So these lane squads are going to be just trying to take out these couple pitbulls that are here. What's happening over here is single weapon squad. iriS has been mining here for the last couple of minutes, so he's getting a lot of money. To be honest, I think Durand has been waiting too long. He should have attacked and finished off iriS when he had that chance, when he had no MCV. But now iriS has been establishing himself with a full load of infantry forces, and now he's just going to be building up tons of infantry, which means iriS needs, Durand needs to build a ton of anti-infantry. Wolverines and hammerheads and a bunch of infantry of him as well. Orca Strike comes in, not sure what it got, maybe that harvester or something, I'm not too sure. Yeah, and then going back here to his Tiberan field, 2 and 1 is a good ratio for this. And here comes the amount of attacks. Now iriS has to be very careful what he does here, and same thing with Durand, he has to be very careful what he does. And it's just going to come down to like who has a better micro, who has a better positioning. I think it could be Durand, because it depends on if we lost 2 of those hammerheads because of those rocket squads, and now because of that, these Wolverines are going to be completely exposed to these rocket squads. And now because of this, Durand is going to lose all of his anti-infantry. He needs to be focusing down the rocket squads, but I don't think he will, because there's a lot of alliance squads here. They're just emptying his Wolverines, and now because of this, he lost all of his anti-infantry force, and now he's going to be pushed back because these heavily armada forces wasn't putting his force into suppression fire and taking out these rocket squads when he needed to. But he needs a lot more anti-infantry than just hammerheads and Wolverines. He needs rifleman squads, because then those can take a lot of damage on a enlightened and a bunch of damage on melted squads, while the Wolverines and hammerheads do the rest. But now he's just building more hammerheads now. And this Tiberan field has been mining out slowly. He's been mining on 3 of his fields, so he is getting the economy necessary to fund this attack. And same thing with iriS. He's going to be using 3 harvesters. Actually, that harvester is almost dead. There's like barely any health. I mean, like one shot from Rifleman Squad could destroy that harvester. Orchestra coming in, takes out whatever that was probably a Obelisk of Light. I don't know. Can't remember. A couple of hammerheads here now, just scouring, doing a little bit of map control, seeing where everything is, and that sort of thing. Yeah, so the game is to slow down just a little bit. Radar scan goes down, actually, just to reveal what iriS is up to. iriS is on tier 1.2. He's still on 3, so that's going to be very good. But and we see a nuclear missile silo coming up from iriS, so that
is not a fake because he's not Black Hand. So he's going to be going for an attack now with his Abyssal Light. I didn't notice the nuclear missile silo now because I have my recording settings finally figured out, and they're in the bottom left here on my screen. So then I can see the countdown timers now. If I'm doing like a 4v4 and there's a lot of super weapons, I can finally see where they're at now. So I can just click them and they have Temple of Nod with the Master Computer countermeasures. And the stealth tank's now going to be finishing off the rest of... finishing off the rest of the stealth tank now. And there goes the Tier 3, so no more stealth tanks. Tier 2's gone. There's just one more, 1.5. And the Disruption Tower is coming out now, but unfortunately that's going to be low on power. And you can't use gunfire. Hammer has, when they're in stealth mode, sells off that one stealth Secret Shrine and just destroying the Disruption Tower now. So these Hammerheads now are going to be finishing up the rest of the base here. And now these bikers are going to be coming out now, but unfortunately they're going to be focused down just as easily now. And now these tip core SAM turrets, actually the operation has been placed to back up, so now you can place back SAM turrets. Now you can focus down on the Hammerheads, but there's quite a bit of them. Durand is investing heavily on those. Now this armada of a Tier 3 can definitely go to Durand's base and focus fire all of his infantry squads. I'm not sure how much money he has. He's been double airfield now. That's why he had so many Hammerheads to begin with. And now there's Behemoths and Mammoth tanks coming out now. iriS is controlling the center of the map now, and Durand has been focus firing on this. He's going to be focusing down the rest of the buildings now, and he did take a little bit of damage to that Behemoth, but unfortunately for iriS, he wasn't able to take that out. So now what's happening on there, there's a Harvesters coming out now, and they're going to be leeching temper from anything where they can. Here comes a scan, and then I'll destroy these Harvesters. No question about that. That one will escape. 2 of them will go down. So I think he needs a Pimple Scout just to reveal the stealth from that Harvester. That scan was a good thing. You can't see stealth units with the Watchtower. That's a fact. So because iriS has this a Temple of Nod, he can just turtle in his base with this infantry and the Spectre, and then just destroy iriS. I mean, he could probably attack it here because there's a lot of tech here, but I think he's also going to use it on the Behemoths and the Mammoth tanks. But the Spectre Artillery is just going to be guarding the Temple of Nod, and here come the Orca Strike, taking a shot that one Temple of Nod. Even though there's a Disruption Tower, the Temple of Nod is stealth, but there's still that one blip on that radar, that one little shroud just reveals itself, which indicates that Temple of Nod is there. So you can't really hide a Temple of Nod. It's just, you just can't, even with its Disruption Tower. So the 4 minutes down on the missile silo, and now because of this huge attack now, iriS is going to be using a Spectre Artillery in the backside of things to destroy whatever Durand has here. Durand needs to be focusing down the SAM turrets before he can bring in his Hammerheads, and that EMP is going to be coming in. And here come the Orbital Bombardment and Shockwave Artillery coming in. So now all the support powers are going to be used by Durand and to just decimate all of his infantry forces and everything around it. So Durand is going to be pushing into iriS's base, and iriS is losing all of his forces. He lost all of his rocket squads, and he lost his Spectre Artillery, which means he has no infantry left, and which means Durand has actually lost a lot of his Behemoths, actually, because of those bikers. So now it's just, here comes the Marv. Where is the Marv? There it is. I'm not sure what he's going to put in. He could put in Grenadiers because iriS can just build a lot of infantry squads. And the Grenadiers are a good option, especially since when they're going to be in stealth mode. But iriS doesn't have any forces on the map to speak of. He just has a couple of bikers, so that can do pretty good damage. All those left is just a couple of Behemoths coming in. But here comes a Marv. It's not garrisoned just yet. A bunch of infantry is coming in a Grenadier squad. So he is going to be going for Grenadiers. That Hammerhead will definitely be destroyed with the tip core missiles, no question about that. More infantry is going to be building inside the Disruption Tower. All of that iriS needs to do is hold on for another 2.5 minutes for that just nuclear missile silo. But unfortunately, he doesn't have anywhere he's going to fire it. I mean, it's a good option to have, but if you don't have a big army to destroy it, then what? These bikers now are going to get caught out of position. Actually, those Hammerheads get caught out of position. So now that Marv's coming in, there's some Orcas here. They have the sensor pods, so that's going to be very good. He throws it on the Marv, and he does see the Harvesters now. So the Harvester is a big stealth machine now, so that's going to be very good. And iriS souls off his refineries, and because you can see Marv now with the sensor pod. But now the Marv has been emptied, And he doesn't have any infantry inside that Marv, so you can't really destroy all this infantry squads coming here. There's a beacon there. It's probably an Orca strike. These behemoths are firing from the backside of things to put the infantry units in suppression fire. And actually, he's using his harvesters to squish the infantry. Wow, that was a good option there. Here come the Orca strike. Doesn't get anything, unfortunately. Here come the Imp buggies. And the Imp buggies will definitely get destroyed. The Orca takes them out. More SAM turrets have been placed down now by iriS. That Marv is still not garrisoned, though. So I'm not sure why. I'm not sure where you can see the I'm not sure where you can see the sensor pods on these Orcas. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think you can see the sensor pods on those Orcas. But the sensor pod lasts about 2 minutes, I believe. So yeah, that's gonna be a good thing. There's 1 minute left in the nuclear missile silo, so just dare. Oh, there's a sell-off. I think this might be GG for iriS, because yeah, you can't really come back from this. There's a lot of infantry rifle squads here, so they're definitely gonna take out the rocket squads, no question about that. And there goes the disruption tower, so no more stealth. And the iriS actually still fighting back with this. He has the shredder turret base defense. So now it could be going down. Oh, there goes the power plant. So now he's low on power. That Marv now is still alive. He doesn't have any garrisons. But now these behemoths should be firing on the shredder turrets now. And he is building tip troopers. So that could be doing pretty good against his infantry. So if iriS is just fighting back now. But unfortunately, iriS can't defend this. So that's GG for him. Pretty good game. There's a couple of times where I think derand should have... definitely pushed into iriS's base and finishing them off somewhere in the game. Just a couple of that. Units craft is going to be here. Here's your structures. Resources. derand had the most resources throughout the game, I do believe. Stats, 198,461 to derand and 185,489 to iriS. So that's another 1, 2, 3, 20... $12,000 more in favor of derand. All right, so there's your game on Tournament Dustbowl. My name is Cabal, and I'll see you guys on next time.